everyone, Darkside Phil here, and welcome to the weekend preview for August 19th, 2012. Been a really great week. In fact, I'm going to kind of step up and say, you know what, I'm going to... I couldn't put it into words. I'm going to say that this past week was actually one of my favorite weeks of 2012, and we're going to get into why during the recap of the video, as usual. Usually what I do in these is I recap what I did the previous week, I talk about what I'm going to be doing the next week, and so they're not going to be no different in this video. However, there will be some interesting things you're going to want to know, especially if you haven't been following along with some of my channel updates and weekend previews recently. This is going to be a really important one. So I would say spread the word if you know people who don't always watch these videos, and then they tend to ask shit later on because they're like, oh, I don't understand what's going on. Well, if you watch the weekend preview, you would know. So this is an important one, okay? Before we start, two quick things. First thing I want to say is special thanks to the fan who actually got me a Dragon Ball replica. That's right. Now, I know I've mentioned Dragon Ball in some of my playthroughs. You know, sometimes I make jokes about Kamehameha or Spirit Bomb and stuff like that. And so obviously you know that I am a fan of Dragon Ball. I actually grew up watching Dragon Ball, the regular series on TV, and also Dragon Ball Z. And then subsequently, at that point in time, Dragon Ball Z had not been translated or even subtitled and sold in America past like season 2, and so I ended up going on the internet and watching the entire series from start to finish on the internet. It was available, you know, the dubbed Japanese version, not dubbed, I'm sorry, the subtitled Japanese versions, and I watched the whole series, and it's a funny series. It's probably one of the first anime series that I watched from start to finish, and I am a fan of it, so thank you for the fan who got me this. This is a really cool, you know, neat collectible souvenir style thing. The other thing that I do want to mention is that, excuse me, is that my Facebook page, as you know, a couple of months ago, a few months ago, probably 3 or 4 months ago now, due to fan demand, I opened my official Facebook page. It's They Call Me DSP on Facebook. Well, as of, I think it was like Wednesday of this past week or Thursday of this past week, unfortunately, the amount of friends that I have on Facebook has maxed out, okay? Facebook maxes out the amount of friends you can have on a regular Facebook page at 5,000 friends. So I'm not getting any more friend invites, and there's nothing I can do about it. If you're sending one to me, I have the maximum amount of friends. I'm not seeing them, okay? But here's the thing. Two things. Number one, I actually do have a Facebook fan page, which is different from an official Facebook page. What it is a page set up for fans to follow someone who wants to have thousands and thousands of people, you know, who are interested. And that is actually facebook.com/TheyCallMeDSP and the number 1. Okay? So you can get on that and you can follow me there. You can actually like it, and if you like it, you're basically following it, and you can get updates and stuff on it there. The other thing you can do is you can subscribe. I believe there's a way to subscribe to a Facebook page. Not a lot of people have done that, but it seems a lot of people have gone to the fan page and liked it. So if you want to follow me on Facebook, but unfortunately, you know, as I said, my friends are maxed out on my regular Facebook page, just head over to the fan page, because actually it's the same exact content. I've actually mirrored them, I've linked them, so that whenever I post something on Twitter, it also posts to my Facebook page, and it also posts to my Facebook fan page. So you get the same content no matter where you go. You're going to get the same stuff, okay? So there's no reason to go to one over the other. At this point, if you're you know, a newcomer and you want to follow me on Facebook, follow me on my fan page, okay? The other thing is, Facebook just recently changed Facebook pages anyway, and guess what? Your actual main Facebook page looks like exactly the same as the Facebook fan page. They've kind of changed it to be identical. They call it the timeline view. And I don't know why they did that. I like the old view, but for whatever reason, they changed it. Didn't ask for feedback, they just did it. Kind of reminds me of another thing that called YouTube, where they make changes and don't really get any feedback from anyone. Apparently there's like a backlash. A lot of people don't like this timeline layout, and they're mad that Facebook has changed it, but there's nothing you can do about it, apparently. I don't know. But both of my pages look identical, so it doesn't matter. Just follow me on the fan page, and it looks the same as what's on the other page anyway, okay? So that's out of the way. So let's review what I did this past week. Let's preview and talk about what I'm going to be coming up with, some special things that I want to talk about and announce that you probably don't know about if you haven't been following along with these weekend previews and channel updates, okay? So, this past week, what happened? Well, I completed That's right, I actually completed my Grand Theft Auto San Andreas playthrough, which officially closed out the Grand Theft Auto Marathon for 2012. If you haven't been following along, for the past several weeks I played Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and then Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, back to back to back basically. And those playthroughs are now complete. A lot of people were actually like astonished that I was able to beat the game as quickly as I did, because there are insanely hard missions in San Andreas, including the flight school and any mission involving flying. Some of them are really fucking difficult, but I was patient and I stuck it out, and I gave myself enough time to do it, and I did beat the game in time. So definitely check that out if you're interested in Grand Theft Auto, or if you're a fan of the series. Then starting on Tuesday, we had two major retail releases: Darksiders 2 and Sleeping Dogs. And what I decided to do, rather than play one all in one massive chunk and then beat it and then go to the next one and play that in all one massive chunk, the thing was, I actually had equal interest in both of these games. And so I did something that I rarely do here on DSPGaming. I decided that for one half of each day this week I would play Darksiders 2, and then for the second half I would play Sleeping Dogs. And I think it's worked out tremendously, because people are basically telling me, Phil, this is great. We get to keep up with the footage because you're not putting out, 100 parts a day of the same game, and we're getting to pick and choose which game we want to watch first. A lot of people watch Sleeping Dogs first. A lot of people watch Darksiders 2 first, or vice versa. A lot of people had told me that Darksiders 2 actually isn't out in their country yet, and they're going to wait and they're going to watch that playthrough later on. So that's awesome. So I've been doing this all week. I really have been dedicating myself this week because I knew I had to beat both games by Tuesday, because this Tuesday there is a new release that we're going to talk about. So I really did put in the time and effort, and I did it. As of today, I've beaten Darksiders 2, and as of tomorrow, it's looking like I'm going to beat Sleeping Dogs. There's only 4 story missions left, and the game is complete. What I might do is actually do a little bit of side content. I've done a lot of side content at this point, but there's a little bit more. There's this guy called Roland who has these side missions. I may try out some of those missions and then probably complete the game. And then I'm going to do the Hateful Truth review of both Darksiders 2 and Sleeping Dogs. A lot of people for the past week have been asking me, Phil, when are you going to do the review? When are you going to do the review? To which I respond, I can't do the review until I beat the game, That's not fair for me to do a review right in the middle of the game. I know that a lot of you are anxious to hear the review because you want to know what I think about the game and if you should go out and buy it or not, but I got to beat the game and give it an honest review. So that's coming up tomorrow, the conclusion of Sleeping Dogs, and then the Hateful Truth review of Darksiders 2 and Sleeping Dogs, okay? What else did I do this past week? Well, on Saturday, John Rambo came over, and we did another edition of Smart Guys, our wrestling commentary show that's over on his channel, John Rambo Presents. Then we actually simulated the WWE SummerSlam pay-per-view matches in WWE 12, and that's here on DSPGaming. And then we actually did a full co-op, 4-player co-op playthrough of the Expendables 2 video game, which was released to coincide with the release of the movie that actually just came out this past Friday. So that was myself, John Rambo, our friend, the Airy Lord, and our friend Coruchado. We did a 4-player co-op. Unfortunately, here's the thing. Here's what happened, okay? We were going to possibly do it on Xbox, but the Airy Lord Xbox red ring, well, not red ring, it just won't turn on. It's like broken, like really broken. So it was a last-minute change. We said, all right, fine, we'll do it on PlayStation 3. It actually ends up, it was cheaper on PlayStation 3 for PlayStation Plus subscribers anyway. But here's the thing. The downside with the PlayStation 3 is that when you try to do voice chat and you try to play it through the speakers, it sounds like fucking shit. For those who don't believe me, go watch any of the Twisted Metal videos that I put out of the multiplayer of Twisted Metal earlier this year. I had my girlfriend, I had Arid Lord, and there were other people all trying to talk, and I had to try to get the chat through the speakers. It sounded atrociously bad. Cutting off in the middle of a sentence, blah, 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 blah. It sounded awful. The Bluetooth technology of the PlayStation 3 is not up to par with the wireless technology of the Xbox 360. The Xbox 360, hundreds of times I've done multiplayer matches and played the dialogue through the speakers with 0 problems. It's a horrendous problem with PlayStation 3. I don't know why. So, unfortunately, we did have to play the game with only commentary from John Rambo and myself. I was actually talking to Nestor and Arid Lord through my headset, my wireless headset, my Bluetooth headset, and so you might hear me saying things to them, but you never hear them talk back. I apologize. There's nothing I can do about it, okay? So that's live as well. So that's what's happening the past week. The only other thing that's happened is that on Saturday night, episode 2 of Project 7 was actually released over on Machinima Respawn. I checked it a couple hours ago. It said it had about 10,000 views, but it hadn't yet hit the 24-hour mark when it refreshes and all of a sudden a bunch of extra views get thrown onto it. So I really have no idea, views-wise, how well it's doing. What I can say is this, as I swear to God, this is the God's honest truth. When you go over there, I swear, every negative comment that I see on it, like for example, perfect example, I saw a comment, just looking when I checked to see how many views it had, the first negative comment I saw there was like, oh, this guy Phil sucks at acting, okay? So I was like, okay, maybe this is a Machinima Respawn viewer who saw this for the first time. His honest opinion is that I suck at acting. So I right-click on his name, go to his channel, guess what? He's blocked from DSPGaming. So quite literally, everyone who's been blocked from DSPGaming is fucking butthurt, and they're so immature about it that they've decided to go over to the Project 7 videos and leave negative comments, acting like they're seeing this video for the first time, but in reality it's just because they're fucking butthurt about being blocked from my channel for acting silly or saying something, you know, ridiculously out of line, or for whatever reason that they got blocked, and they're going over there and they're making the video look bad. It is what it is. At this point, there's no way to control the comments. It's not a big deal. The series is getting some additional exposure, which is neat, and that's all we intended, so that's fine. Whatever. Let them do whatever they want to do. I don't care at this point. So that's that. But I just wanted to make everyone aware the episode is up over on Machinima Respawn if you want to go check it out. That would be cool. So that's it for this past week. So what's coming up this week? It's going to be full of content yet again. And there's going to be a unique thing happening at the end of the week that I'll talk about. But first and foremost, as I already mentioned, Sleeping Dogs concludes tomorrow, and then The Hateful Truth for Darksiders 2 and Sleeping Dogs. If I have time, I will also do my video of the Grand Theft Auto series retrospective, meaning I played Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas in my Grand Theft Auto 2012 marathon, and I wanted to do a retrospective video last Monday, but I beat San Andreas so late in the day that I didn't have time to make the video, and therefore I think I might have time to do it tomorrow. It all depends on how long Sleeping Dogs goes till I beat it, so we'll see what happens with that. I think a lot of people were interested in that and were looking for it last week and were disappointed when it didn't show up. So that's Monday. Tuesday, big new release, AAA title, Transformers Fall of Cybertron. The sequel, the direct sequel to Transformers War for Cybertron from a 3 years back, I think it was 2009. I could be wrong, it could be 2010, but I'm almost positive it was 2009. Now I'm not so sure. Maybe it was 2010. I think it was 2010 now that I'm thinking about it. But anyway, yes, this game is coming out, and I'm excited because it looks like to be just along the same veins as War for Cybertron. War for Cybertron was one of my favorite games of that year, so I'm really pumped and excited for this, being a Transformers fan, but not really being a fan of the Transformers movies, more of the Generation 1 Transformers, and that's what this game is about. So I'm really excited to play it. Obviously what I'll be doing is picking it up on Tuesday. I'll be doing the campaigns. Now I believe there are 2 campaigns just like in the last game. There's a Decepticons and an Autobot campaign. So I'll be playing through those. I'm not going to guarantee you that I'm going to beat the game in one day, but my plan is to beat the campaign of Transformers War for Cybertron over the course of Tuesday and Wednesday, okay? Thursday, I'm doing the next episode of Ask the King. And you might be saying, well, Phil, what's going on? Why are you doing it then? Because usually you do it the last Thursday of every month. We're going to get to that. There's a reason why. But this Thursday will be the next episode of Ask the King. I urge you to ask questions for me to answer in this episode. You can do that in many different ways. Right now, you can go to my forums at thekingofhate.com. There's a thread in the forums just for Ask the King, and there's already a section there for this episode coming out on Thursday where you can post up your questions, and hundreds of questions that have already been posted. Feel free to post up yours. I may answer them. In addition to that, the day of Thursday, so probably Thursday afternoon when I wake up and I start to work on Ask the King, I'm going to post up on my Twitter and my Facebook accounts that I'm openly accepting questions for Ask the King. And so that's your chance. If you haven't put a question in the forums ahead of time, you can ask there. And I will take questions both from Twitter and Facebook as well. So that's happening on Thursday. More than likely what I'm going to do is I'm going to film those episodes. And then, as they encode, because they do take quite a while to encode, Ask the King, because it is such a long thing, it's like 30 minutes long per episode, and with the intro and everything that I put on it, it takes about, I'd say probably about 45 minutes to an hour to encode each episode. So probably what I'll end up doing is multiplayer for Transformers Fall of Cybertron. And what I'll probably do is I'll post up on Twitter and Facebook, alright everyone, I'm playing, so if anyone's interested and actually wants to play with me, send me a message and I'll try to get you in a match with me. And what we'll do is we'll jump online and we'll try to play some fan appreciation matches of Transformers Fall for Cybertron, okay? So that'll be on Thursday after I film Ask the King sometime in the afternoon, okay? I'm not saying that, you know, that will be the last time that I do it, or the only time that I do it. Maybe I'll play some in the afternoon, take a break, come back, play it at night too, so people who are getting out of work or whatever, or in other time zones or whatever, want to play, they can play with me as well. So that's it. Thursday's going to be half Ask the King, half Fall of Cybertron multiplayer gameplay, and the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to film the episodes of Ask the King, but I'm going to play the matches of Fall of Cybertron, record them, and upload them, and then after they're uploaded, then I'm going to upload Ask the King, okay? Just to give you an idea of the order that all this is going to happen, okay? Friday is another unique day because I'm busy this weekend, so John Rambo's coming a day early. That's right, he's coming on Friday to discuss SummerSlam, to discuss what's happened with Raw this week, Impact, with TNA, everything, all wrestling. We're going to do another episode of Smart Guys early this week on Friday. So he'll be coming over then, and then also we're going to do some co-op gameplay. And it's up in the air what we're going to do. Right now we've got a couple choices. We've got Resident Evil Dark Side Chronicles, which we didn't finish. We actually have the final 4 or 5 missions that we have to beat, which is probably a couple hours of gameplay. However, I did notice that not a lot of people were watching those videos. I guess they didn't really like it that much. I can understand it is a rail shooter, but, you know, keep in mind we do try to keep it entertaining with our commentary. A lot of people, you know, I would hope that people would watch series just because of our commentary, even if the gameplay sucks, but it seems more and more often that people are skipping series of games that they don't think that they like that much, even though I think our commentary is good. I don't know. It's up to you if you want to watch or not. I can't make it, you know what I mean? But we have that option to complete that game. Or, I don't know exactly how Fall of Cybertron is going to work. If it lets you go online with 2 people on the same console, then maybe we'll do fan appreciation with myself and John Rambo doing co-op online play, playing with fans on Friday. That could happen. I don't know. I'm not sure how it works. We're going to find out once I get the game. So, depending on that, you might see Resident Evil, you might see Fall for Cybertron, you might see a lot of stuff, okay? On Friday. And then, to end the week, this weekend, I've said this many times in videos trying to give you guys warning that it was coming. I started talking about it back in freaking July when I first booked the trip, but it is finally here. Starting this Saturday, I'm going on vacation. Now what that means is that I may put out like 1 video on Saturday, explain maybe like a channel update, explaining everything that's happened during the week and yada yada yada, but you're not going to see any new gameplay footage starting on Saturday of this weekend, of this actual week, and until I return from vacation, which I believe is, it will be Sunday, September 2nd, when I return from vacation, and that will be the day when you will see me putting out new footage of some sort, new gameplay footage. Now, a lot of people have been asking me a lot of questions about what am I going to be playing and blah, blah, blah. What about this that's going to happen when you're gone and such and such. So let's address all that right now. The only game that comes out next week is Madden 13. I don't care about Madden 13. I played Madden 12 last year. It was okay. There's no reason for you to buy the next installment and give these guys another $60. Fuck that. I'm not playing it, okay? The only other thing coming out next week is the Mass Effect 3 Story DLC Leviathan. I will be playing that upon my return from my vacation, okay? In addition, as you know, I still have the Skyrim Dawnguard DLC to play. I've heard it's not very long, or not as long as you would expect. That will be something that I will be playing upon my return from my vacation. And Ratchet & Clank HD Collection actually come out that week as well. That is something I will probably try to play Ratchet & Clank 1 during that week coming back from my vacation as well. So, during a week that normally would be dead, we're going to have lots of content. We're going to have 2 big DLCs that people want to see, and we're going to get to see me play Ratchet & Clank for the very first time, okay? That's what I'm planning to do for that week when I return from vacation. The only other thing that I could foresee is if the new episode of The Walking Dead gets released, because I believe, now that I'm looking at the calendar, I believe it has been 2 months since the last episode. And so I'm wondering, it actually, now that I'm looking at it, it looks like episode 2 of The Walking Dead was supposed to be released in May. It didn't get released in May, but then it got released in June. So now I guess it's up in the air. Is it going to come out at the end of August, because there's been no announcement yet? Or is it going to come out at the end of September? No one seems to know when episode 3 of The Walking Dead's coming out. I'm really enjoying the series. I love the games, so when it comes out, I will play it, but it needs to come out first. So if it comes out when I'm on vacation, when I come back, I'll probably be playing it, okay? And that's it. That's pretty much explaining everything. The only other thing I want to say, and remind everyone, if you haven't been watching the vlogs and stuff recently, when I am on vacation, first of all, I'm going to an undisclosed location. I haven't revealed where myself and Panda Lee are going, okay? It's cool that I think there'll be speculation of people trying to guess where we are. A lot of people I've seen making guesses so far. We are going to be doing vlogs for the trip, so probably when we get to the airport, maybe we'll do one. It's actually the first time Panda Lee's flying ever, so that's going to be interesting to see her reaction to the flight. We may be doing some footage when we get to the hotel for the first time. And we do have a week of activity planned while we're on vacation, so there will be some interesting things we'll be doing that I'll want to catch video footage of. So you will be seeing that footage on DSPGaming next week during the time when we're on vacation. There won't be any gameplay, but you will see footage of, you know, us on vacation. And that also goes for Panda Lee, by the way. For those who have been following along, as you know, she has her own channel on YouTube now, Panda Lee Games. She's now completed 2 games. She's beaten LA Noire and Heavy Rain, and I believe she's uploaded the review for LA Noire. She hasn't had a chance to do it for Heavy Rain, but she's going to be doing it soon. And I think she's actually going to even be starting a new game this week, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not 100% on that, but I think she is starting a new game this week. But she's going to be on hiatus, obviously, as well. If she doesn't beat that game this week, then while she's on vacation with me, it'll be on hiatus. You'll see no new gameplay from both of us until we both get back. So just to let everyone know, okay? Alright, so that's it for the weekend preview. A week full of new content. I'm excited. I'm really excited for the conclusion of Sleeping Dogs and to play Fall of Cybertron. I think it's going to be great. And then leading into my vacation, I think it's going to be awesome. Also keep in mind, episode 3 of Project 7 will be airing on Machinima Respawn this coming Saturday night. So check that out. And also, excuse me, there will be no weekend preview next week, obviously. I won't even be here, you know. I'll be on a plane or I'll be somewhere else, so there will be no weekend preview because the whole weekend preview is, guess what, we're on vacation. But, okay, that's going without being said. So anyway, thanks for tuning in to the weekend preview. Thanks for watching the whole thing. I appreciate it. Please spread the word. This was an important one because there's a lot of information in it that I think a lot of people need to know. And that's it. I'll see you for new gameplay this week. Peace out. See you then.